Hello and welcome back to the Madhouse. And you'll notice my little comment there because we are changing the tactic to something that they have never played before. And I've been thinking about what's going on with this game, what is going on with this save, and concurrently what is happening in my other save, which is using the same manager or same manager profile, but is actually starting to mirror this save, which is quite interesting. And looking at this, we had, if we look at the schedule that we've got here, we had this at Coritiba, but I changed the tactic at Coritiba and everything went right from then on. I did change it back after a few games and it's just like business as usual. So it did seem like as I changed the tactic, then we got better, but we should get worse because again we were playing a team in a totally unfamiliar tactic, and they weren't familiar with it or whatever, and they should get worse, not better, but they get better when you change the tactic, and I disagree with SI on that respect. But we'll see what happens here because I won't know what to think because we are going to change the tactic here today. And just to find out if that's what it is. And to see if we can actually win the second leg of the Europa League tie, which we will be playing after Cremonense. Cremonese. I don't know how to say these names. It is quite funny. Before we go on, if there is anybody sitting there in the chat wondering what I'm babbling on about, if you can let me know if you can see okay and if you can hear me okay. It's something that I don't know until somebody makes a comment. So I could be talking away here and nobody can hear me, or you might not be able to see anything and you're wondering what's going on and I won't know. So just let me know, guys, if you are there, is everything okay? The other thing, I've had to go back. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Tequila. Thanks, Inky. The other thing I've had to do is I've had to go back to 720. My friend downstairs is back from his holidays, and unfortunately I can hear lots of machine gun fire coming from his room, so he's obviously online gaming. I did start it off 1080p, and if you were here when I first started, it completely broke down. In 720 it seems to be okay now. I hope that's not going to be too much of a problem for you guys. 8 o'clock starts are not great in terms of internet. So we are changing the tactic and we're just going to try it out. And I won't know what to think. If we get 3 wins here today, or 2 wins and a draw, I don't know what I'm going to think. Because up until this point, when I took over, we were absolutely flying. And a tactic that I use, it's my DNA, it's how I play the game. And then suddenly, bang. Now, I did switch the tactic to the new tactic when we went 2-0 down to Fiorentina and we came back to 2-2 against a team we shouldn't be beating anyway. So if it is a tactical change, I'm not sure what I'm going to be thinking. So we'll have to see. I do need results, so hopefully the tactics change will create. I do need to check my preferences here. I might have sound on. I do. And the other thing is that since the update, things have been going a little bit crazy. I was playing in the other save earlier, and when I reloaded the game after a short break, I'd lost all the real names. For some reason, I don't know why, but I haven't reinstalled them for that save. But since the update, I have noticed all kinds of weird things going on. And I actually don't know what's actually going on. So we'll go with that with him. And this is the new tactic. This is Rousseau's tactic. The tactic that I was working on is not ready yet. This tactic I know is very, very good. And so hopefully it'll work out okay. So this is a tactic they've never played before apart from 30 minutes. And they came back to draw against Fiorentina. Hey, Andy, good to see you, mate. And so hopefully this one will work quite nicely. But as I said, it will get me thinking a lot. I sometimes overthink the game. I do know that. And it will make me think. I don't know why Rizzo is in the team, but we will change that. And we will go. I have been thinking a lot of late, and sometimes, yeah, I do overthink the game instead of just playing it. But I think there is a lot wrong with the game since the update. It wasn't great, in my opinion, before the update. But I'm not sure since the update what is going on half the time. It was a bit distressing to find I'd lost all the mods that I'd put in again. They must have downloaded something yesterday or this afternoon, which caused all that to go wrong, and then I had to do it again. I'm going to go with my assistant on that one. And so we will see. We are in the most dreadful form. We've put them in a tactic in which they are not familiar with. We will see what happens. And hopefully, though, it will be 3 points on the board because we are slipping down the league. I think we're in 11th at the moment. This is a team that when we took over, we're in desperate straits. We've got them back up to mid-table now, and now suddenly we've gone into a period where it looks awful again. So hopefully we'll put that right today, just with a simple little tactical twist. I won't be too happy if it is to do with the tactic. I would like to see us lose a few games here while they get used to the new tactic switch, because that's what really should happen. And I'm not quite sure what happened there. It was intercepted. And we haven't made the best of starts. So the other thing that I actually think about is the save itself. And it does make me wonder if there are distinct saves, distinct types of save. And this one, if we think about what happened, we were flying at Notts County, couldn't lose a game, and then suddenly it all fell apart. Within 3 days, we were off to a Premier League club. How we got employed by a Premier League club, I don't know. But Bournemouth took us on, and we turned that around. And then Bournemouth, we didn't start too well. We held our own, and then we had a really bad patch, and then we changed the tactic and recovered. And then within 3 days of the Juventus manager losing his job, we were off to Juventus. So I'm wondering, is it going to repeat itself? Are we going to have a bad patch, recover, and then get offered a new job? Is that what this save is about? I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out, I think. Sometimes I do overthink it and I'm overcritical. But I think it pays to overthink something sometimes. We need to get back into this game, and at the moment we are not in this game. And I need to possibly look at some of the opposition instructions. And I can't change it at this point. He doesn't want to change his mind at this point. But I think I will have to make some adjustments because what he's doing is not working. So I do need to pull up the screen and find out who's causing me these problems. Pastina, nobody really. They're just playing a long ball over the top. And they've been a bit dangerous in terms of their set pieces. But what I do know is that if this continues, they will score. because it's not like us. We can go the whole game without scoring, but the opposition will score if you allow this to continue. So I'm going to shout at them and demand more. This is not acceptable. But it will be good news, because if we do lose this game, then it's not the tactic. It's just that the players have decided not to play again, which we saw at Notts County and we saw at Bournemouth, which means I'll probably be on my travels again. So we shall see how it works out. Yeah, I mean, and I've said in my in-game management stuff, if you do all you're supposed to do, all that you can think of to do, then sometimes it just comes down to luck. And you have to factor that in. Hey, Reckons. And sometimes, yeah, Jack, we have to factor that into football. Sometimes it just comes down to luck. And there's nothing you can do about that. But there's more to this than luck. It's almost... The save in itself is almost following a pattern with each club. And now I'm seeing it over in Coritiba. And why is that? How are we on get stuck in? This is a bit strange. Yeah, let's get that off. We don't want to be giving away all these set pieces. They will score eventually from one. So let's get ourselves sorted out, boys. I mean, this Cremonense team, they look like absolutely world beaters at the moment, and we look like we've never seen a football. And we can see all the match momentum. They're not very effective down the right-hand side, or at least they're not focused down the right-hand side. And now I've gone not off, get stuck in, we're losing the ball. And at least we have hurt someone, which is probably all I can hope for from this game. We've been totally outplayed. So I guess it's not the change of tactic then. So maybe we'll be changing back. But I think I might give it 3 games. And then we can actually then say, no, it's not the change of tactic. But this game we're still in it. And what we got to do is stay in it. And if we can win those balls, then who knows? Offside, I think. Yeah, offside has been given. So we're still in it, and we've actually got the momentum back here. Presta, and we're still giving away free kicks. Presta is probably the main man who's causing me aggro. Left foot, hard tackle, and tight mark him. Because he's causing me a little bit of a bother. We need to at least get back into this game if we can, boys. I'm not quite sure positive is the best way to start when you're down and out. But as this is experimental in terms of change of tactic, let's go with what the tactic demands. We're going to get... I mean, but also there is the possibility we could FM them. But I just don't know why all these teams that I'm managing just suddenly stop. What is that about? And then I'm guessing if we get ourselves really into a rut, I'll be on the move. I'll get an offer from Manchester City or Arsenal or somebody like that. The save doesn't make any sense to me. We've got headhunted by 2 clubs on the basis, and we've ended up at Juventus on the basis that we won a League 1 and League 2 trophy. That's why we're at Juventus. The whole save doesn't make any sense to me. But is football meant to make sense? But that surely wouldn't happen. Juventus would never take a manager who's only ever won the League One trophy in his career. That's the best he's ever done. That would never happen. You might be right. You might, but if we'll have a look, Andy, at the attributes, because they can't do anything. This team, I think they've got the worst attributes in the league. So they actually can't do anything, which is actually really weird. And I shouldn't be counter-pressing, but as this is experimental, we'll go with it for a while. And they don't have the pace to counter-attack, and they don't have the ball control or dribbling skills to counter-attack. We shouldn't actually be doing anything. And the whole save is really confusing me a little bit. And that we can deal with all day at the back. It just is a bit strange. I also have got no forwards. Both of them are injured now, which doesn't help. It never helps. But then they were out of form anyway when they got injured, so I don't think it really matters. All my forwards are out of form. And that's another thing about FM. If a forward goes out of form, then so do the 3 other forwards that you've got. So there are lots of things wrong with this game. So you can have 4 really good forwards, and if one isn't playing well, none of them are playing well. And that was bound to happen. I think I might switch back in a minute, because this is not working out at all. I am going to come off the counter press because I think that's pointless. We're just going to be running around. I knew they would score from a set piece eventually. I don't know why they're giving away so many set pieces now. And if we look at the attributes again, I'm thinking that we are on the move soon. That this save is following a pattern. And I think we'll probably end up at Manchester City or Arsenal, Liverpool, or maybe Bayern even, on the basis of a League One title. I'm going to berate them now. This is not good enough. And all the chances that we have, nothing is working. Nothing. We've had 4 shots, 4 on target. So that's a good thing. But our shape is all over the place. I don't know whether that's because the opposition are dragging us out of shape, or it's because we're not used to playing this way. And the way FM depicts poor form is that it makes your forwards look like an absolute bunch of buffoons. Well, we might as well do that because we're not creating chances any other way. Which is kind of weird. And yeah, this is weird as well because he's only a 1.5 star forward and he's just blasted one in. And, I don't know what's going on here. This game is not over. And we've got a goal out of nothing. I do want to have a look at... I mean, and also, I don't know who to actually target because they're all playing out of their skins here. And they're all contributing key passes. So I can't target them all. Presto, we've done. But here they come again. Clinical Cremonese. Oh dear, oh dear. Another set piece we've given away. Does anybody know how to stop? What would you do? What would you do if you're giving away too many set pieces? How do you solve that problem? Well, as a manager, would you tell your team, you can't just tell them stop giving away set pieces. How would you actually make sure they don't give away? Zalazar is my best player with Yildiz. But it's getting the ball to them, and maybe I've got to go a bit more direct to get the ball to them, because they're quite high up the pitch, both of them. But the fact that they are my best players means we are getting the ball to them. And both of them are... I wonder if I should be playing up the middle and not through the flanks. Because Salazar is playing up through the middle. So maybe we need to be focusing on getting the ball down the middle to these guys. That was a poor tackle as well. The referee's against me as well. Nicely done. He's offside, isn't he? Offside. My two young forwards who haven't played so far this season, only the odd minute or two, they're both actually on the highest ratings. This game really puzzles me at the moment. And my midfield, that's been in an outstanding form, is having a lousy game today. Is it just that this team just needs to change? It just needs, like all the other teams that I've managed, you just need a complete new team sometimes. And the transfer window, we'll finish mid-table and we'll get rid of everybody and start again. He's offside again, you idiot. But he scored. Is that going to be given offside? I think he was offside. He was offside. But we're not out of this. Ease off the tackles. Do you think that would be a good instruction then? I mean, it's not just that they're not tackling, but they're giving away set pieces, corners. Let them score instead. Defending wise, they've been okay. Actually, no, we need to do individuals because Ayala's having an awful game. Fagielli is having an awful game. 6.6, I'll let him off. 6.4, you are not being let off. But we're not out of this. It's 1-1. I mean, all games in this season are going to be hard. I know that. We'll have a look at the attributes in a minute because we are the worst team in terms of attributes in the league. It makes me look really sad. It's like I don't like looking at the attributes. They're horrid. And that was poor. I don't think we should be staying on our feet. Offside. I think we have to show some sort of aggression towards these teams. Cambiasso, what are you doing, you buffoon? I'm going to just give him one more chance, demand more. And we're going to... One of them's improved now, Ayala. One more chance. I think those two... He's better as a cover, Ayala. Oh, referee! It's 2 bad tackles. Go on, son. A draw? Well, a draw would be okay, I guess. I mean, we are home, so we should win this game. But a draw probably be okay, given the form we've been in. I've always said the most important thing is to not lose in these games. I'm going to come off that instruction. I don't like that. I don't think we should be. Yeah, he's just also told me we need to tackle. But again, they've got a set piece. I think they've had about 20 corners and about 10 free kicks. But standing off them looks better. At least we're not pushing up too far on them and then they're gliding past us. It's a very close match in all fairness. These boys have to come off now. They're not responding. They're not responding. Locatelli has now gone down to a 6.5 as well. Interesting. They're just not playing, and this is what's happened at Notts County, and it happened at Bournemouth. They stopped playing. Time to make some substitutions in a minute. I can't wait any longer for these numbskulls. It's not happening. Right, let's go ahead and make some subs. Look at this in midfield. Fagioli and both of them. Rabiot can come on. Moretti can come on. Let's switch those over. And we will take off. They're just about doing okay. Two forwards are doing okay. But I do want to give Dusan some time. Ayala needs to come off. Very poor. So I will play Palladino. And let's see what my assistant's got to say. And let's go with that. Let's make some changes, see if that affects the game at all. Those two boys up front have played well. They just have had no service today. Because the midfield have decided to switch off today. So let's see if Moretti makes a difference. Oh, again, referee, what's this tackling that's going on? He has given a penalty this time. But I've seen these given as no penalty. I've seen these given no penalty. Yeah. Wasn't quite a penalty. And this fullback, Pastina. It's just not happening for us. Even like Hall, goalkeeper as well. The thing is, if you leave your goalkeeper on, I'm going to close him down. He seems to be distributing. Zalazar has had 6 key passes for us. So why haven't we been putting those away? The attacking mids probably had those chances. Which is why they were on this 6.4s. The problem I have is that the wing backs will get tired. So Ben Seguir as well. Dreadful. Might have to just leave the wing backs on tired because they're not doing too badly. He is tight marking, has run right across the field and got himself right out of position. But he did well. He did well. Who was that? I think it was Moretti. Come on, boys. Let's get a goal. And then make me really panic and think about how on earth do I hold on to this lead. It does. It's on a separate page, and I should take a look at that, Tequila, yeah. So we could take a look at that. Actually, no, it doesn't. I thought it did for some reason. There's no passing networks here. So I was sure that it did, but it obviously doesn't. I don't know. I mean, I'd take a point. It's been a fairly even game, I think. I think they've just about edged it. We're not scoring goals and don't deserve to win games at the moment. Good block. Who needs to come off? Sagir. It's the forwards again, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Oh dear. I mean, it doesn't matter. Changing their roles is not going to make any difference. Let's try McKinney. He can play in that role. Rabiot now and Miretti, both the midfielders, they're not playing well. And one of the wing backs, I guess, the most tired, Zanoli. I will see what happens. Oh, that's what happens. Oh dear, I give up. I absolutely give up. It's mirroring what happened at Bournemouth, it's mirroring what happened at Notts County, and it's mirroring what's currently happened at Coritiba. I'm going to stop all these and make a new manager profile, because it's to do with the manager profile. Well, now we got to go attacking. We're going to put him as a volante on attack. Got to get bodies forward now. Which means that we'll be out of Europe as well. It's all going nuts here. So it's clearly not the change of tactic, but I'm going to go with this now, just for the hell of it. It's just the players are rubbish. And he can't even put that one away. Oh, come on, FM. Oh, please. What a silly game. I am going to think this is the silliest game in the world. I don't know how these two boys are still on 7s, the average rating. He just missed an open goal then, and he's still on a 7. How does that work? But I know something. We're not going to score. I might as well just sup me drink. And we've dominated the second half. I mean, I'm looking at the key passes. There's nothing I can do about it because every single person in the team for them is providing key passes. But I don't see that very often. Like, usually it's one or two players and you can just mark them out of the game. Every one of them is producing key passes in this game. They must be a brilliant football team. So why are they in 14th? Well, they'll be above us now. Absolutely useless. Absolutely useless. Yeah, to me, Tequila, this feels totally scripted. It feels absolutely scripted. I'm in a hopeless situation. There's nothing I can do. I've tried so many different things. And it was the same with Bournemouth. It was the same with Notts County. They just stopped playing. And at Bournemouth, you guys did the transfer window. The one that I was doing, I sold them all. I want to get rid of them all. But in the end, we didn't get rid of them all because I used one of the other transfer windows. And, and we just fell apart because the team just continued not to play. And it feels like this again. We've got to survive somehow and just sell everybody because they can't play together. This is what the game is saying, I think. They're just not good enough to play together. Let's go very attacking then. We've got... what can I do with him? I don't want to push him too far up the pitch now. But I can put my other... They're both on attack. But I don't think it matters what I do. I'm fast losing patience with FM24. I never thought it was a very good game when it came out. It's got really worse since the update. I've lost my patience with it. When it first came out, it didn't look very good. Everybody was oohing and ahhing over the graphics, but I was looking at how awkward it looked as a game itself. The match engine is all over the place. Well, that's it then. Another defeat. Oh, see? What is this about? This is a team that could not lose only a couple of weeks ago. This team could not lose when I took over. And the game has decided, right, time to throw the switch. And I'm willing to bet it's following what's happened before. We'll get headhunted by a bigger team. That's what will happen. No, it's just, this is the way the game shows me that you're not playing very well. Because it looks like they are 2-year-olds running around there. It looks like there's no energy. It looks like there's no pace. They are playing on high tempo, but it looks like there's no pace. And I sometimes think the best thing to do is to give these boys instructions that are the opposite of how you want them to play. They're supposed to be playing on a really high tempo and they're not bothered. So they're just kind of like going through the motions, which means I've lost the dressing room again. I don't know how, because we were flying. And we're not even getting anything near the goal. And we've actually had more opportunities than the opposition as well. And I think you're right, Tequila. It's scripted. more than it ever was. It always was scripted, because if you go on holiday, it will generate results. But you used to be able to change the game. And there are periods where you can change the game in-game. There are also periods like this where anything you do doesn't matter. And it just doesn't make any sense to me anymore. And if this is going to be FM25, then I'm really not looking forward to FM25. I think FM25 will be a complete waste of my money. Because I think this is what they are building it on. This is why FM24 had the improved graphics, because they were building it on this match engine. Actually, Tequila, I want to get sacked. That's what I want to do. I said that at Bournemouth, I've said it at Notts County, and now I'm saying it here. I want to get sacked. Because it might give the game its way, and then it might say, oh, okay, you're not a very good player, so we'll make it a little bit easier for you in the next team. That's what I actually want to do now, is get sacked. So I'm going with what we had. I have to rest them. I should make them train harder and make them play in a condition where they can barely walk. But it doesn't matter what I do. I've given up trying in-game stuff because I've tried so many things. Yeah, pleased at being promised to be sold. I can't wait to sell you, along with every other member of that team. I make a pass at the chairman's wife. Ah, boy. I'm going to do what he says. I'm going through the motions now. Game's either going to turn it around or it's not. And I don't care either way. It's really, really silly. And we're going to go out of Europe here now as well. So that'll be cool. At least we don't have to worry about and stress about Europe. What's that about? I have not had a row with anybody. I don't even know who he is. So there's like, how much is wrong with this game? I'm not going to answer that because I don't even know who he is. What on earth is that about? Ah, boy. I'm going to play Danilo. He hasn't played for a while. Dusan and Chiesa are back. They've been out for the last 6 weeks. That hasn't helped. Shoot on sight. I think we have to do something. I'm going to go and do that. I'm just going to... And that's a good idea. They're quite a strong team, as I recall. I'm going to shoot on sight. Look at this boy. 4.5. We won't be able to beat these. And he's got a 4.5 rating. Let's go and do it. Let's see what happens. I'd be very, very surprised if we get anything out of this. This game sometimes does this to me. I get so tired of trying to affect the game, and in the end I just get to the point where I say, do what you like. I give up. And it's like a switch. There is a switch within the game where you're going really well and then it's gone. And once that switch goes, there is nothing you can do to change it. You just have to wait. Like your forwards will be banging in goals all over the place, and then bang, just like that, it's gone. And suddenly you can't pass the ball, you can't defend, you can't do anything. And the Panathinaikos are a terrible team. And it just goes to show how bad we are. Ah, here we go. Dusan's back. Couldn't hit a barn door if it fell on him. Hello. What are we seeing here? Are we going to dominate this game as well throughout the 90 minutes and still lose to a team who are really bad? Maybe make extra comments in press conferences about how it's the board's fault. Swear at them. I've lost interest. And the game is not supposed to make you lose interest. It's got to keep you interested. But when it just takes over like this, it makes you lose interest. Oh boy. Bremer's back in the team today. Chiesa, Dusan. Who knows? I've had Bremer suspended. He's been out for a few games. I thought the referee was pointing over here then. But he actually was pointing over there. He was just facing the wrong way. Oh, 1-0. Normally I'd get quite excited. But this isn't over by a long shot. I just don't understand it. But of course, I don't think the game wants me to get knocked out in the... it wants me to at least get to the round of 16. So it probably will let me win this one. Because it doesn't want me to lose at this stage. It never does. You always get to the round of 16. Always. Which if that doesn't tell you that it's scripted, then I don't know what does. I could play a sack of potatoes in this game and we probably win. And I actually did an experiment on that a long time ago. I think it was in FM24, where I put my youth team in the second leg of the playoff, and we won it. So that experiment just said to me, well, we know what's going on here. So it doesn't want me to lose this one. As we can clearly see, because just now they couldn't hit a barn door if it fell on them, and suddenly they can't miss again. But it's not this competition that matters. I'll be knocked out in the next round, so it doesn't really matter. But obviously this is good for morale. If we can win this, it'll raise morale a little bit. Red card, referee. And this tactic that I'm using here, I tested. This is Russo's, Gianni's tactic, which wiped the floor in that testing tactics thing. It's one of the best that I've ever seen tested. So if this can't do it, then nothing can. Ah, boy. And this is the same Panathinaikos team that beat us last time, who can't get out of their penalty area at the moment. But even now, I'm still looking at their first touch is awful. Passing is off. Dusan, he's on a 7.5. I really do think it's just survival, finishing in mid-table as we're requested, and then sell all of them. Just get rid of the lot of them. But the problem with FM is you can't sell players. So you're stuck with them who won't play together. I suppose you could give them away free with a packet of Weetabix. That would probably be okay. Look at that. Oh boy. I mean, FM said they were going to make it easier to sell players. I find it's more difficult in FM24 than ever before. I find it really difficult to sell a player. I've literally got to give him away. What a nutty game. Well, I did know they weren't going to let us lose this game. I'm glad he's not my goalkeeper. Goalkeeper, I'd shoot him in the dressing room. Although my goalkeeper has made errors just as bad as that. Oof, that was a good tackle. Really got into him then, didn't he? Am I still playing Get Stuck In? No. He's got himself a yellow card, though. Might have to tell him to ease off the tackles. Oh, that could be it. We might get a yellow. Might get a red card, and then we have to hold on to the 3-0. That might be what's going to happen. So maybe I need to take him off. Offside. Truley is the only one who's made a key pass, and he's not really hurting us. Nobody's actually hurting us at the moment. We're hurting ourselves. Oh, this is how we should have been playing against Panathinaikos in the first leg. And I don't know what happened in the first leg. I'm willing to take some responsibility because we came back from 1-0 to 2-1. I then went to close the game down, and these guys could not close a game down to save their lives and lost 3-2. I take responsibility for that. But we shouldn't ever have been in that position where we could lose it, as we can see. The only problem with playing this tactic is that Luz can't get a game. But I'm going to sell him anyway, so it doesn't matter. 4-0 on 20 minutes. Does that make any sense? Really doesn't make any sense at all to me. Except from the point of view that you never lose in the playoffs. We'll lose in the next round. But then that's what the board expected. And so it will be fine to lose in the next round. Oi. Steady. Yeah, I try that tequila, offering them out. In fact, I've got 2 at the moment who are offered out via the transfer room, and I have done it about 4 or 5 times with them. Rabiot, I offered him out twice via the transfer and via an intermediary, and the intermediary just came back to me and said, sorry, there's no interest at the moment. I find it really difficult to sell players. It always was hard. The only player I've got in both saves at the moment who will sell is Kamalo. If I put him on the transfer window, he'll sell within 10 minutes. That's because he's probably one of the best players in the world in that save. So he will sell in 10 minutes. But I've tried in that save as well to get rid of players, and I can't. Let's make it 5. Let's make it 10-0 today. Let's have a good day. Everyone except Ayala. Oh, and now the left back, Danilo. How many shots have we had in this first half an hour? 16. 16 shots in the first 30 minutes. This could be a world record of shots. Hi, mobile gamer. How are you doing? Why are they playing with more discipline when they're 4-0 down? Quite sure why they would do that. I think that's a piece of misinformation from my assistant. Yeah, pretty good. Confused about the game as usual. But pretty good overall. It just doesn't seem right. It's like the instructions don't seem to match what they're doing. Even though we're 4-0 up, they're just not doing what they're told. And that's losing the dressing room again. And why I've lost this dressing room, I don't know. No, I don't have Champions League football on my TV. I'm thinking of doing a subscription to Discovery Plus for next season. But I don't want to start it now when for 3 months there'll be no football anyway. So I don't want to start it now. But before next season, I'll probably do a subscription to Discovery Plus. And then I'll have Now and Discovery Plus, so I'll have too much football then. What is the score at the moment, Mobile Gamer? What's the score? Well, I think we should be more than 4-0 up, because this Panathinaikos team can't get out of their penalty area, let alone get chances. They just are stuck in here. I want 5-0 before half time, boys. I'm not going to be happy with 4. Just shout and demand more. 18 shots, 11 on target. 4 goals. Is that a good ratio? Nah, I want more. Ayala's gone down to a 6.6, has he? And he's on a yellow card. He's in danger, isn't he? 5. I wanted 5 before half time. So 2-1 to Bayern. Is that the first leg or the second leg? First leg, I think, isn't it? Oh, that would make me happy, Andy. Who are City playing? I thought they had the easiest draw of everybody. I wonder if I can go here. Champions League. Yeah, Bayern. Yeah, Real Madrid are beating Manchester City. Real Madrid 2-1 up. Oh, that would be marvelous if Manchester City go out. Hey, for my sins, I'm a Manchester United supporter. I know, dreadful at the moment. And it's going to take years before they're a good team again. I was actually talking about that the other week. I'd actually only keep 6 Manchester United players and I'd sell the rest of them. Waste of space, most of them. In real life, I think most of those players you wouldn't have any difficulty selling. But it's not like FM. I don't want Ten Hag. I didn't want him when they hired him. I didn't think he was the right man. And to be honest, I look at him and all the time I see him, he just looks like a confused man. He doesn't look like he's in charge of that big football club. He just looks like, I don't know what I'm doing. And tactically, every time that he makes a substitution, I get worried. Because we seem to fall apart after he makes his substitutions. But I think it's the quality of player he brings on. He brings on players like Ericsson and Mount who won't tackle. And so that is a huge problem. The midfield's a huge problem. It's full of players who won't tackle. And the only ones who will tackle are Casemiro, who just keeps getting himself yellow cards all the time, and McTominay, who's not quite good enough to be in that team. Possibly, Andy. He just looks like me. I have got no idea what I'm doing anymore. Although my subs are a bit more successful than his, I think. How many shots have we had now? We've had 22 shots, only 12 on target though. 2 years and 4 months, I think it is, mobile. Not long. As you can tell, I'm not very good at it, but I'm learning all the time. We've grown over the last year. I can remember just over a year ago, I still only had 800 subscribers. So we're growing slowly. Not as fast as I thought we might at one stage, but slowly, slowly. Well, don't forget, guys, if you are in the chat, leave a like. That helps me to grow. Do that now before you forget. I know you guys got terrible memories. Mine is bad. Yeah, I know. It takes a long time. You've got to be in YouTube for the long haul. It's not a short-term project. But we are growing. And it's picked up again of late. A little bit. How many minutes added? I want 6 before half-time, boys. No, we're not getting it. So I give him a rollicking now. No, I'm not happy with the number of shots on target. I'm far from happy. Our passing has been good, though. Really not happy with the shots on target. You think that 30% is good? Oh, I've been told this before. I should be a manager in real life. I wouldn't be able to cope with it. I would never be able to cope with the pressure. I just can't imagine anybody wanting to do that job. In all fairness. Why would you ever do a job like that? See, there's something wrong with this game. It won't let me do that. Why? Why won't it let me change things? Come on, let's make it 6. There it is, number 6. This is a completely different team to what I was looking at last time when Panathinaikos beat us. I was an academic director. I was in charge of some language centers in Indonesia and Vietnam. You have a YouTube channel, do you? What games do you play, mobile gamer? Six 0. This does not make any sense. This game is starting to make less sense with every game. Where did this confidence come from? And they just haven't been out of their half. And look at their passing. It's dreadful. How did they beat us last time? Come on, let's make it 7. I want 10. Not like that, we're not. I'm gonna tell. That's twice he's done that. We're going to tell him to shoot less often and dribble less, take fewer risks. He's not having a great game. Come on, I want more goals. After you've just let me down for so long. I think the same should apply to him on the other side. You're just getting a little bit too cock-a-hoop. Pass the ball. Like that, you see? Offside. It's hard to know who to take off. Ariella probably is one candidate for coming off. I've got a youngster who needs game time. And possibly Bremer, who's also on a yellow card. The others, they're not tired because they haven't gone out of their penalty area, so they're not tiring at all. They've just lived in here all game. Rent a space, the opposition penalty area, please. I don't believe you. Why would they play with more discipline? We need to play with more discipline. That's probably what you're telling me. That we need to play with more discipline. I think you just got the message wrong, didn't you, Mr. Assistant? You meant to say we need to be playing with more discipline because we're just firing shots nonsensically. That's what you meant to say. No team is going to play with more discipline when they're losing 6-0. That is a nonsensical statement. It's a bit late to be closing down the defence now. So maybe that's what I have to tell the boys in the next game is before they start, play with discipline, listen to the instructions. Well, we're not going to get the world record number of shots because I had over 40 in one of my Coritiba games. Might be time to get some youngsters on the pitch now. Give some of these boys a rest. Not happy with 6-0. They should be at least 10-0 up. "6-0 isn't cutting it for me, boys. Alright, let's make some subbies. I think both centre-backs can come off if I've got two centre-backs here. Pirola. And I have got another young centre-back, haven't I, somewhere? He's just not on the bench, is he? Zanoli. So let's pick Pirola, and Zanoli can come on this one. He can go on a cover duty. In fact, I'll play them both as central defenders, not ball-playing defenders, because they're youngsters. Give them a run out. Locatelli is tiring. He's not tired, but he's tiring. Actually, Moretti needs to gain some confidence and form. We'll leave it at that for now. Just get those two young centre-backs on, give them a game. Look at the positions on the pitch. There's a huge gap between the two teams. This game is so confusing. See, they're not even being more disciplined, are they? I should say maybe be more... shall I try that? Be more expressive and see if they are... See if they are more disciplined. Although I have asked them to shoot on sight, haven't I? I think I have asked them to shoot on sight. But they'll score from this set piece. The game will give them a consolation. Yeah, let's go work the ball into the box. Because we are taking shots from 250 yards away. PC, it's about 40 quid, I think. Probably get it cheaper now if you look around. When it comes out, it's about 40 quid. There's the goal that they're going to get. They always get one. Look at him running up to the halfway line with the ball, 6-1 down. Right, we need more goals, boys. Can't say anybody's playing badly, but we have got one or two players who are getting tired. Fagioli and Lanelli. But I don't want to change them yet in case of injuries. %50 on target, probably not a bad return. Let's move it, boys. Let's move that ball forward. Oh, okay. I know somebody who did media, and they've got a very good job now working for a graphics company. Friend of mine's daughter. She did media studies, I think, and then she's got this really good job in a motion graphics company, I think. Very, very good at motion graphics and video editing. And we're still sitting in their penalty area. We just can't add to our first half. Let's give them a shout. Demand more. You can't take the afternoon off yet. I know you've got the game won, but the manager is not happy with how you're playing again. Now 6-2, 6-3 starts to sound a little bit worse. Lanelli and Fagioli are probably the boys coming off soon. Dusan, you've been very quiet as well. Even though you've got 7.3, you haven't had the best of games. The two fullbacks are really struggling. And we are playing it wide. So we'll keep them struggling. Which probably means my fullbacks are doing a good job. But it is time to make those changes now. Fagioli is tiring. Zalazar. Lanelli or Danilo, it's toss-up really, isn't it? I think, being as I don't have a defender right, because Zanoli is my defender right, so Lanelli will have to stay on. And I'll bring on Cambiasso. Do I have a favourite player? Is the question. I used to be a big fan of Garnacho until he got very, very selfish. I'm just really struggling to think of. But I am a big fan of Mainu. He's nowhere near the finished product yet. but he's not overawed by big occasions. And he scores some very, very good goals for a DM. I probably would say Mainu at the moment. And then I do like Rasmus Højlund. He will become a good player, but not yet. A couple of more years yet. He just gets knocked off the ball at the moment too much. He's not strong enough. Big defenders just keep knocking him over. But he will come in time. He needs to develop his strength. And when he can do that, he'll hold the ball up really well. But our wingers are the most selfish wingers that I've ever come across. And he's lucky to get a pass off them. I would hate to be him, because they don't pass the ball to him. And he must be the loneliest person on a football pitch. That team needs what this team needs. Sell a lot of them. Then we'll rebuild around what we've got left. And I have a feeling that that's what that new guy who's come in to be director of the football part, that's what he wants to do. He wants to get rid of most of those players and start again. And that's what I would do. There's only 6 I'd keep. That would be the goalkeeper, Dalot, Mainu. I think I would give Fernandez one last chance, one more season. Højlund and Garnacho, those are the only ones I'd keep. I would sell the rest. Bring in some nice 20 to 24-year-olds who want to play for the club rather than just for the check. I guess 6-1 is a decent result. But then I did know that we were not going to be losing this game. I called it before the match. They never let you lose before the round of 16. But we'll be out next time. What's in the schedule now? Salento. We got no chance. No chance. But I'm going to continue with this. Because hopefully they'll be getting a little bit more familiar with it now. Yeah, it's Tales of the Tape. I think you're always up playing late, aren't you? Always up late at night. I've been there myself. I try not to do it so much now anymore. There's only so much Football Manager I can take now. Do we want to see the draw or skip the draw? I don't know if I want to see the draw. It just takes so long. Let's skip the draw. So let's find out who we get. Oh, we got an Italian team. Is that allowed? They are Italian, aren't they? Sassuolo. Yeah, they're in 5th. We have an Italian team in the round of 16. I think it's the round of 16 as well. Yeah. Round of 16. Huh? It says Celtic. What? What draw was that then? Ah, that game's rearranged. We've got Celtic. Oh, blimey. Celtic are always a great team in the Europa League. So I think that's probably good night, ladies. In fact, if this was real life and I was manager of Celtic, you'd be dreading drawing Juventus. But this isn't real life, is it? Celtic are probably rubbing their hands. Yes, we've got the easiest team. And this is quite odd as well. Just noticed that this now, Rabiot joining the poor training, all 4 midfielders have rotated. First of all, it was, who was it first? I can't remember, but all 4 midfielders have trained badly over the last 4 reports that I've had. So he's now made, that is really interesting. I think this game's got loads of glitches. Rizzo, do I want to play Rizzo? The rest of it, no, we're not. Why does he want to play these boys? I think I might have to pick this team myself. They're all fit. They did well last time. Why would you change it? I'm going to put Cambiasso back in. And I think I'll change the midfield, because I wasn't too happy with the midfield. So Moretti can come in with... Oh, Moretti and Locatelli. Those are the only changes I want to make. Why does he want to change the entire team? They've just beaten Panathinaikos 6-1 and he wants to change the team. So let's see how we get on in this game. If this isn't going well, then what I might do is switch back to the other tactic. And then we will assess from there. But it does look to me like the game's made its mind up. You're going to be finishing in mid-table. End of story. And that's not good news, because I told the board for an extra 200,000 on the transfer budget that I would finish in the European spots. So that's not good news. Yeah, they're capable of playing, so let them play. They've been out for 6 weeks. They can play 2 games in a week. Right, let's go with that. I'm just also wondering about these 2 boys. Just switching position. If I get these 2 boys to switch position, I'll just get them with attacking midfielder Glock. So they can just switch over. Just might confuse the opposition. Cambiasso has been lacking match sharpness for the last 4 games. I'm absolutely in agreement with you, Mobile. Absolutely in agreement with you. It's exactly my feeling. Get rid of everybody they've brought in. They've brought in has-beens who can't tackle, who won't tackle. And that's not good for a midfield player. I mean, even I know when I'm buying midfielders, I need them to be able to put their foot in. I think that's a decent team. That's the best I can do. I wanted to have a look at the attributes, didn't I? So we'll do that at the end. Because we'll see then the attributes are dreadful for this team. Having won 6-1, they should be high. And so they should be able to win this game. But we're being forced back already. Letting teams walk all over us, aren't we? And he just ran away from the ball. And this is the game doing it, because you can see clearly there He just ran away from the ball. So it's the game doing it. The game will have its say. He just like the ball was there and he kept running away from it. And so it makes that result against Panathinaikos look really stupid. Just because we're not allowed to lose until the round of 16. So I do feel a bit better now. It's not my fault. It's just the game. When it does stuff like that and have your players running away from the ball, you know it's not your fault. And it's probably going to be a game we dominate again and can't score. Dusan Chiesa couldn't stop scoring just about 4 weeks ago. In fact, they were so in form, I couldn't decide which one to play up front. No, neither of them should play up front. None of my strikers are very good. They're all being sold. This is TV view. It's not the director's view, it's TV. The director's view confuses me because it changes all the time. This is just TV view. Cristiano Ronaldo mobile, we should never have brought him back. It was a huge error, and I said it at the time. The last thing you wanted in that dressing room, which was a shambles anyway, was somebody who was a bigger shambles coming in. And it was bound to end in failure, and it did. And Ten Hag tried to stand up to him, and he's not big enough a manager to do that. And all that Ten Hag did was upset the situation even more. Well, we are in charge of the game, but it doesn't actually mean anything. I mean, this is the team that beat Inter Milan, has beaten some of the other big teams, who now don't know what a football is. Boss, what is this round thing that we're chasing around? What is happening here? I think they've been attacked by aliens. They've been mentally destroyed by aliens. Oscar Arande. Boss, why are you making us go and chase that round thing? What is it? That's wrong. Probably close him down. No, we'll type mark him instead. He's just not good enough as a manager to manage a club like United, where the dressing room is going to be a problem with the money that is in that dressing room. It's going to be a problem. And he didn't have the reputation of being able to do that. And he just clearly shows to me now that he isn't good enough to do it. He looks like, I don't know what I'm doing. And as like I said, when he makes his substitutions, I think, oh my God, no. What is he going to do now? And I'm really not quite sure what he's doing when he does those substitutions. Like, he's looking to lock down a game and brings on a midfielder who doesn't have any work rate, who's a very creative, pretty passer. That's not locking down a game. So I worry when he makes substitutions. Good evening, Busy. How you doing? Yeah, if we can't put those away, we're in trouble. We're missing open goals. The opposition are clinical as anything. Just over the crossbar. Looking at Chiesa, 6.6. Dusan started going down already. Lanelli's a 6.6, probably because he got himself a yellow card. Yeah, he's already on ease off the tackles, and he's got himself a yellow card. And it just looks messy. Looks really messy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you lose a dressing room through no fault of your own. Losing a dressing room FM style. For no reason. Well, they're going to feel the sharp end of my tongue. Supposed to be a good football team, but you look like Dorset under 11s. What was that? Here we go, hitting the bar. Come on, boys. Put one of these in. Stop messing about. Totally hammering them. Ah, you love this game, don't you? The craziest game ever. Pre-assist what in terms of match ratings? I like defensive midfielders very rarely get a good result in terms of ratings, and I think ratings are totally messed up this year. I mean, I've had players, a goalkeeper make like 10 brilliant saves and ends up with a 6.8. I think they're messed up this year. I think this is all preparation for FM25, and that's why it is so bad. And that animation, they have to get rid of that. The goalkeeper pulling it over the line himself. That animation would be really easy to get rid of. Very easy. Well, we're in this game, and that's all you can do. Stay in the game. I might change the tactic back at half-time. Oh, hit the bar again. This means you're not going to score. Once you start hitting the bar and the post, and you're not going to score. What is my goalkeeper doing? Oh, FM, enough nonsense. They haven't been in my half, and then you go and get my goalkeeper to do that. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, now they're going to be berated just to make me feel better. It doesn't actually do anything. Unbelievable nonsense. This is just pathetic. It really is starting to look very pathetic. We're going exactly the same way as Notts County and Bournemouth. And I'm getting sick and tired of it. There's only one team in it. There's only one team on the pitch. Another miss. Hit the bar twice. We've had so many opportunities that we just can't hit a barn door with. Goalkeeper makes an absolute clown of himself then, and we're 1-0 down. And game after game after game. And, of course, we're not allowed to lose in the playoffs of the Europa League, so we win that game 6-1. It's an absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And I've completely lost interest, and I would like to get the sack, please. Move me on. Yep, you've beaten me on this save, FM. Move me on now. Half-time, we'll go back to the other tactic. Because it wasn't the tactic, it's just... the game is messed up. Why did I not get excited then? Because I knew he was not going to score. I knew it. There's only one team in this game. And I didn't get excited because that was too obvious. Once you start hitting the bar, hitting the post, shots blazing over from 2 yards, you know you're not winning. $6.5 for Dusan again. 6.4 Ben Seguir. He hasn't turned up for about a month now. I'll have to stop paying him. Yeah, it's time to move on. I think we had our time at Juventus. When we were winning everything, it stopped that now. So time to move on again. See if we can find a team that we don't lose the dressing room for some reason. We got to get really angry with them now. Throw the water bottle. Might be the only way. It's not the tactic. I tested this tactic, and it's one of the best I've ever seen. So it's the game, just being silly. No, you're not impressing me, FM, at all. Not impressing me at all. There's only one team on this football pitch. Okay, we're going back to the original tactic now. I'm going to put both fullbacks on attack. Might be the only way to win this. And we will give them an absolute rollicking. Yeah, I don't care if you're lacking belief. You're all being sold anyway. Why would they lack belief? A team we should be beating, and they're playing like they've never seen a football before. Why would they lack belief that they got a bollocking? I don't know. Can't pass. Can't play in any tactic. Can't pass the ball. Can't shoot. And yet we beat Panathinaikos 6-1 because the game doesn't allow you to lose in the playoffs. We get thrashed in the next round of the Europa League because that applies now. You can lose in that round. The other thing, as I was saying, at the start of the episode, this save might be you have to change the tactic regularly. There are different kinds of saves. And I might have to just be changing the tactic all the time. Switching back. I'll get another one which they can train up. And then we'll have 3 that they can just switch every 20 minutes. That might be what this save is about. Might be coded that, and the dice was rolled and then comes out, oh, you've got the save where you've got to change the tactics all the time. Because I changed the tactic and within a minute we're level. So maybe we've got to change it all the time. Maybe I'll change it back in a minute. This is beginning to make less and less sense. I actually don't know if I want to buy FM25. That's the really... Hi Neil, how you doing? That's the really sad bit about what I'm finding with FM24. I'm not looking forward to buying FM25. And I think it's going to cost double the price. So that's the really sad bit about it for me. I'm not looking forward to getting the next game. Because I think it's going to be a complete mess. I mean, don't worry about it. We're not going to be allowed to win this despite the fact we've changed the tactic. For some reason, in this save, I don't know. It's time maybe to move to a different club. That's what it's telling me. Maybe this is a save where I just have to go to different clubs all the time. Because what's quite really puzzling is me, why were I offered these jobs within 3 days, both of them? Both of these jobs I got within 3 days of the manager leaving his job. That doesn't happen normally in FM. You have to wait a couple of weeks. And both times it was when I'd lost the dressing room, when they stopped playing. After being on good runs. Here it is, the winner. No. Let's make some subbies. I don't care about your corner. Do what you like with the corner. Goalkeeper again. My assistant was right. Should have dropped the goalkeeper. 6.3. Ben Sagir, you're being sold at the first opportunity. We can't have you doing that. I'm actually going to give McKinney... No, I can't. Can I? Chiesa can move over to the left wing. Give McKinney a game. Can't do any worse. Dusan you might as well leave on the first bus, because you're not part of my plans at all. I think I'll put Chiesa up top, because he's at least having a decent game. And then I have to find a left winger. I do have a left winger who's Salazar can come on as the left winger. Goalkeeper, huh? That's what you're going to do to me, is it? You're going to have a go at my goalkeeper. If he's on a 6.3, you might as well take him off. He's not getting any better now. Well, cameraman, he's been on the fruit juice. He didn't quite know where he was. Lanelli probably needs to come off. Now, of course, we're not going to be allowed to score. Not yet, anyway. The game hasn't finished with me yet. Strefeza and Gallo. That's all I can do with him. Strefeza, we're going to have to tight mark him. Has he got a weaker foot? Yeah, left foot. And then in the last 10 minutes, we'll go attacking. That's all I can do. But I don't fancy we're going to win this. We're going to lose it, more like. I've done that so many times, Tequila. My favourite save to do is the Alex Ferguson save. To move forward a few years, take the team in 19th, and then you have to achieve certain things within a certain time frame. That's my favourite save to do. Journeymans are quite fun because you never know where you're going to end up. But I don't know, this traditional save. Somebody asked me the other day, what's the point of it? And I was like, I don't know. Just to do as well as you can. This is not working, is it? This is not working. Locatelli, you're a waste of space. You're being sold as well. You didn't know that, did you? And Gluck can't play there. So why have we got Gluck there? We'll bring on Luz. I'm actually in the next game. I might play a right back as my centre forward. That's probably the only thing I can do. You can't play any worse. Okay, I think we need to go attacking now. So we'll go attacking. Let's make sure both fullbacks are on attack. They are. He's on support. He needs to go onto an attack role. Nah, he can't really, can he? I actually am going to play him as a wide playmaker on support. Moretti, he's on attack already. Salazar is going to go on attack. That's all I can do. Try and win this game. And if we do get a goal, I've then got the problem of, do I ask them to close the game down again? And I would be very worried because they've shown they can't close a game down. They have no idea what they're doing. And look at that pass. That's dreadful. If it was real life, I'd really be screaming at him. Right, we got 4 up. Still can't put it in. I don't know how many shots we've had in this game either. When you're switched off, you're switched off. Of course it wasn't a penalty. They're just... The game's making them look like they're a bunch of monkeys. That's fine. Do what you need to do. Oh, he's miles offside. This is becoming too painful. Way too painful. Can't you make them look any worse, FM? You must be able to make them look worse than this. Come on, you're not doing a very good job, FM. You can make them look a lot worse than this. I won the Champions League in Japan, Tails. The Asian Champions League, I won that. I found Japan was quite easy. South Africa was easy too. I can only go very attacking now. 1 point is not enough. 1 point and I'll be facing the sack very soon, as happened before with Bournemouth. It's getting a bit too repetitive now. It happened at Notts County as well. It's getting too repetitive now. Press. They cannot press at all. They have no idea what they're doing. They're actually just running around like headless chickens. But they can't pass either. I don't know how we won all those games in the beginning. We won about 12 games. I don't know how. They can't pass the ball. They can't shoot. I have no idea how they managed that. They can't tackle, can't pass, can't shoot, can't defend. Apart from that, they're really good. I don't think they even know what a football is. Unbelievable. I think I'm going to change the tactic for the last minute. And I'm going to put Bremer up front. Why is it still on positive? I'm supposed to be on very attacking. None of this has changed. That's annoying me now. None of it has changed. This game is awful. I'd say not changing the instructions is cheating. I thought I'd been playing on attacking for the last 20 minutes. I haven't. I've been playing as it was before. I'd call that cheating. If you're not going to change my instructions, I'd call that cheating. I think 22, Neil, was the best game. I loved FM22. It went downhill in FM23. And, I mean, look at this. That's just pure nonsense. And in FM24, I actually don't like the game in FM24. It's like a game for children who don't understand football. I don't like it. And the match engine, I'm really not happy. You're lucky I didn't throw the water bottle again. And the game has just switched us off. Absolutely switched us off. And I have no idea what to do. If anybody knows what to do now, please let me know. Because I have no idea what to do. I'm just going to put them all up for sale. This is nonsense. That's how we started. And then this nonsense. That is not something to do with management. That is to do with the game. And this is following exactly the same thing as Bournemouth did. And exactly the same thing that happened in Notts County. And we only won that one, ridiculously 6-1, because the game does not allow your team to go out in the playoffs of the Europa League. That's why that was won. It is. It's absolutely the same as Notts County. And the same as Bournemouth. This is exactly what happened at Bournemouth. And then I recovered for 5 games. Again, because I changed the tactic, we recovered for 5 games. And then Juventus came calling. This game does not make any sense. And all I've ever done is win the League One title. That's all I've ever done in this save. So why did those teams come calling? And really come calling, headhunting? Because they signed me within 3 days of their manager leaving. And this game it's totally perplexed me. The game is in charge. It's nothing to do with me. So we'll just have to do what the game wants me to do. I'm going to go back to key highlights because it's not making a blind bit of difference what I do. And I'd like to get sacked. And if I get sacked, then I get out of this save. And what I want to do is I want to start with a brand new manager profile. Because my other save is mirroring this. Everything that's going on in this save is happening in the other one. So it's mirroring because I'm using the same manager profile for that other save. And the game is just doing what it wants. There's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. But I'm going to call it a night for tonight. And I don't know what to do next time. No idea what to do. Could apply for the Leeds job. Let's apply for the Leeds job and see what happens. Where are they first? We're just taking on more trouble, aren't we? But let's apply for the job anyway. Let's get out of here. Because the game is just being stupid. And actually, a few more results. I've threatened this many times that what I will do is just resign, and then get another job and resign, and then get another job and resign, and then you confuse the match engine, and it might reset itself. So I might do that as well in desperation, because this is just repeating itself time and time and time again. Okay, guys. I really don't know what to do, Andy. If you have any ideas, let me know, because I'm totally lost now. Totally lost. It's beaten me. And it's beaten me all save. And I have no idea. I've never seen this before. And I have no idea what to do. Okay, lads, I shall see you next time. What day is it today? It's Tuesday today, is it? I think. So I'll see you on Thursday. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I hope I'll get sacked very, very soon. I'm going to go back to key highlights. I just want to get through this season. So hopefully we'll play 5 or 6 games next time. And it doesn't matter to me now. So we'll just get through this season. If we survive, we can sell all the players and rebuild. If we don't survive, too bad. Okay, guys, I'll see you next time. Have a good night. God bless. Take care. See you soon.